love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always
Namaste friends, today is chapter 21, and in chapter 21 what we are going to be seeing is inheritance. The word inheritance, we have actually heard it in multiple areas, like you actually inherit a property, you actually inherit something. So we would actually heard it even without our knowledge. So we are going to be seeing how Python does this inheritance and how to actually write a command, and what syntax to actually follow. So this is chapter 21. I'm actually excited. Let's take a deep dive. Thank you. Namaste friends. In the previous lecture we saw about class. As I said, the previous lecture was to know the syntax of class. We defined a class and then we actually initiated a value and then we called a class and then we saw some syntax. We saw how to call few things. Okay, and one area that we actually said we'll actually cover later is when to use a class, when to use an object, when to use certain things, because like an if while then else loop is basically a condition. We all know that, but this is like subjective, right? So why should I use it, or where should I use it? So those things will come later when we do a live hands-on project, which I will be. Okay, so that I can actually give you a guarantee. So right now what we are going to be doing is inheritance, and this is lesson 21. So what is the inheritance? Okay, if you have parents and if your parents have some property, and assuming that your parents are good with you, and and if they want to give you their property, you inherit. Okay, so in a good cases that I am actually aware of, children actually inherit a part of the property from the parents, but it is not a guarantee. And likewise, a wife or a husband can also inherit. So basically you take it from the parent. Okay, it is called inheritance. Okay, a parent class is a class being inherited, so that is called the base class. Okay, so that is the base of the pyramid, base class, and a child is called the derived. Okay, because he is that person is the inherited person. So what we actually do is, this more or less comes in the name of the class, this thing. So let's actually see this. Okay, so let's actually see how it is actually coming. So what I'm actually going to be doing is, let's see, the entire thing, the good thing of the previous lecture is this is class definition, syntax of class. This is where we actually ended. Okay, you say a class and you call the class as a person, you give some variable like a self, the first name, the last name, first name, last name, and then we called another definition called print name self, and then we print the self dot first name or the self dot the last name. Fine, but still something is still missing, right? I mean, what is my first name, what is my last name, because I didn't give you any first name and last name. So that is where this thing actually comes into picture. Okay, so if you see here, I have the person, okay, and this person which has been defined as John Doe, and when I say print name, which is a self, it can be John Doe. Okay, so let's actually see John Doe. Now did you see how this inheritance works, and did you see how we actually inherited? So that is why I purposely put it at the last. Now do you guys see how it actually makes sense and how this person actually inherited? Bingo, that is what it is. See, the child basically inherits a functionality. So we more or less saw that in the previous thing also. Let's actually move on from here. Okay, so what actually happens is, so when we want to send a parameter, we actually call this as a pass. So let's actually see something with a pass. Okay, so let's actually take this entire example, okay, and let's actually dissect it. I'm defining a class with my first name, last name. I'm defining something called as a self, okay, which is number 2, and I say print my first name and last name, but I don't know the name. And I'm actually calling this as a student who is a person. So this student becomes my child, and then I say student is Mike Olsen. So when I say print the name, this is going to be Mike Olsen. Okay, so this actually takes this, and the print name, Okay, so this is how it is actually working, and this has actually inherited, this student has actually inherited this class, and we are actually printing. Can we try this out? My computer, or I don't know what, just give me a second. Okay, here we go. It's a mouse. So here, see here, Mike Olson. So one more time, defining the class person, and then we also define something here with the first name and last name, but we have not defined. So this student has actually inherited this class. Okay, it's actually inherited, and we say pass. When we say pass, it has actually inherited, and then when we say student Mike and Olsen, this is what is actually happening. Did I make sense? All right. So when the programming language becomes a slightly more complex, we actually do all these things. Okay, like if you want to call few variables and stuff of that nature, we actually get into all these things. Same thing, we actually inherit here, and then we say what is what. We have actually inherited. Let's actually see. So same Mike Olson. Okay, so we didn't even use a pass here, but we actually inherited. Okay, all right. So what is this super? Okay, we say a super, but what is this super? It is all the same, but super is also in command. So basically, like, this is all like, this inheritance kind of a thing. Okay. See, the super function will also make the child class inherit all the methods and properties from its parent, and that is what we did as super. Okay, super open close parenthesis. All right, because that is the only difference that we saw. So the graduation year. Okay, so the super is actually, is basically inherit, and then, like, we say the graduation year, and then we say print this graduation year. Some of us might be knowing the answer already, but let's try. A class we inherit by using super, and then we actually add another layer called graduation year, and then we are printing the graduation year. So is it like Mike Olsen 2019? Let's see the answer. Well, only 2019, because x dot, because this is only that we are doing. Okay, graduation, only the graduation year, which is this. Okay, so this is also, even though it was not in the part of this class, even though it is here, we can still get it. All right, so that is what it is saying. So in this case, last time we said 2019, but in this case, we are only going to add a year as a parameter. So let's see. So in the previous example, we gave 2019, but here we are giving only year, and we are actually passing it here, and then we say, like, print graduation here, which is going to be this. But let's see the answer. See, same 2019, same answer only, but different way of putting it. Okay, these are three different things. Okay, first thing, and then we inherit. So self dot first name, self, all the self is there, right? What is this self? Okay, so it should be giving, we are printing welcome Mike Olsen to the class of 2019. This is what it is going to be giving. So when we say, like, x dot welcome, when we say, like, print this, it is going to give everything. So one inheritance, and then we are actually calling this guy, okay, welcome self from here, and then we are actually printing everything. So let's see the answer. Yeah, exactly as we said. Now let's actually this will be a syntax. Okay, so let's see it one more time. We have defined a class, good, and then first name, and then this is inheritance. Okay, the very first one, inheritance from here, and then the student becomes Mike, and then we say print this thing. So this is what it is. So this is the way you actually define your inheritance. So even though we don't have a real time this thing, don't worry about it. But what we did was, since it's a continuation, we saw our class, we saw how to actually inherit, okay, and then how to add the super and how to actually pass it at random. So when you're getting deep into programming, which we are not there at this juncture, do not worry, okay, this is only lesson 21, so do not worry. We will get there, okay, and I will give to the best of my abilities, including machine learning and stuff, and we will get there. In 6 months we should be in a lot more better position than what we are today. Alright, if you have any questions or concerns regarding inheritance, kindly you can actually ask me, and I'll actually try to answer to the best of my abilities. And I want to thank you for giving me your time. Till we see next time, take care, cheers. Namaste friends, I trust you have actually seen my inheritance and probably liked it. If you have any questions, like always, you know whom to contact and where to contact. I would like to thank two persons. One is you for giving me your golden time, and the other is my wife Jayashree for allowing me to follow my passion. Till we see next time, take care, cheers.